everybody, I'm here today to tell you how to talk to people and sound great. In this video, I'll be going over a few simple things that you can do to talk to people and sound great. Whether you want to sound smarter, more conversational, or just easier to talk to, these things will allow you to be better at talking to people, plain and simple. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. These are the things that will help you with this matter. First and foremost, find a good balance between talking and listening. Some people talk way more than they listen, and other people listen way more than they talk. The best conversation people, the best types of people to have a conversation with, and the most enjoyable conversations are had between people that know the perfect balance between talking and listening. It's as simple as that. And you need to figure out what that is for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be 50-50, but it shouldn't be 90-10 or 80-20, okay? Think about somewhere in between, like a 70-30 mix either way, and, you know, a 70-30 mix the other way. Ideally, you want to get as close to 50-50 as possible, but you have to make it work for you. You don't want to make it seem like it's not natural, okay? The next thing that I want to tell you to do is to look around for your conversation topics. So you want to really look around left, right, in front of you, behind you, and look for your conversation topics. Now, for myself, I'm not a huge fan of sports. So if I was talking to someone and I saw a sports billboard, I wouldn't use that of something, you know, for me to talk about. But I do like mountain bikes, and I have a mountain bike over here to the side. So if I was having a conversation with someone, I would then go ahead and maybe talk about the mountain bike, or ask them if they've ever ridden a mountain bike before, or whatever the case is. But the key is to look around for conversation topics, because it will allow you to talk to people easily and get those topics easily. There's got to be something around you that you and the other person enjoy. So look around for those opportunities and work with them. The next thing is try not to overshare. Now, sure, people want to know personal things about you when you're talking to them, but you don't want to overshare. Like, don't talk to them about something, you know, very, very private, very, very personal, very, very emotional. You want to really try and keep everything nice and light and easy with regards to the conversation. So you want to share some personal information, but don't overshare. Don't tell them things that are going to make them cringe or cry or anything like that. You want to keep the conversation nice and light if you want to talk to people and sound great. The next thing is try to keep the conversation simple and light, which touches upon what I just spoke about. You want the conversation to be light and simple. Keep it, away from anything that is very touchy. You really want to stay away from like politics, religion, family issues, anything like that. Steer clear of those things. Keep the conversation simple and light. Next up on the list, and I'm reading from my notes over here down below, just in case you catch me looking down. It's just because I have everything written down, just because it's easier on my phone, actually, just because it's easier for me to use. Just so you know why I, break the eye contact with the camera. Next thing up is to use expressions and body language. You'll see as I'm making this video, my hands are flying everywhere. That's just because that's the way that I am, but it's because I want to seem animated for the video. When you're talking to someone, you maybe don't want to be like going like this, but you want to use your body language and expressions. If you're talking like this to someone, just like this, they're not going to be interested, okay? They're not going to think that you sound great when you talk to them. But you want to be animated, have some expressions on your face, raise your eyebrows, bring them down, give sort of like the angry face, whatever the case is. Move your hands around to show that you can feel the words that you're talking about. Next up on the list is to ask relevant questions for clarification. If you hear the person talking about the fact that they have a dog, what would be a relevant question? What kind of dog do you have? When they tell you the kind of dog, maybe you can relate. Maybe you had a similar kind of dog. Maybe your neighbor has that dog. If not, you can ask another question. Is it difficult owning that dog? What would you say is the most difficult part about owning a dog in general, or maybe that specific breed of dog? Ask relevant questions for clarification and use them to intrigue the person, because let's face it, everybody loves to talk about themselves and explain themselves. So ask the right questions and allow them to explain themselves. Next up and last up on the list is to stay on top of current events. Everybody loves talking about current events. Everybody loves watching the news. I'm not a huge fan of it myself, but I try and stay on top of current events, at least for the most part. You just want to know what's happening in the world, anything major. It doesn't mean you have to know about every tiny little thing that you see on the news, but maybe like look at the top 5 things, the top 5 headlines in the newspaper or online in an online newspaper, and just know what happened. Like, you don't have to spend hours. Spend like 5 minutes a day just brushing up on the most crucial, important current events, so you know what to talk about, because people like talking about current events. So just stay relevant, basically. That's the idea there. And that's basically it. In this video, I've told you how to talk to people and sound great. I've gone over a few things that you can do to sound much better when you talk to people, just to be an enjoyable person to have a conversation with. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.